Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Kinema, and we are back on the V4Variety server. So I have all this stuff. And the game sounds are really loud. We just updated the server. I guess I could say I did. And we'll see if that's good. So, but all my chests over there. Forget you can just look up these things. All my chests over there are full. All of these are getting full. I think this is really the last two spaces I have. And that one, this has a little bit more room. So I wanted to go ahead and set up an inventory system. Now, I'll probably end up doing something in the walls here. But for now, I'm just going to set it up in the middle of the floor like we did this stuff. And then I'll move it off camera. You know, get it set up the way I want. So I went ahead. Probably not the best spot to come through here. No, it's not. I need to make like a little axe. Let's put this stuff back. What is it? Are you not going to go? There we go. So I made a couple items back here already. And that was just so we could kind of prepare on what we're doing this episode. So let's... I can't get it. Do I have much? Yeah, I should be good. I may make a little obsidian axe or something, or wait to use something else. I hate making... I can't even talk this morning. It's pretty early. I have not had coffee yet either. So I kind of hate making tools out of obsidian that I'd have to repair them with obsidian. With this one, I put moss, mini moss 2 on it, and that's actually helped a lot with durability. So you may notice I already have a few items. The storage system we're getting into, refined storage. So you may notice some of this stuff looks familiar if you're familiar with modded, and especially AE2. This mod definitely does not replace all the functionality of AE2. But it does make for a very easy and quick inventory system, especially very early on. So basically what you need to do is, if you can get into the nether and get some quartz, or if you're at a dungeon, which we have, our waypoints are gone. I know how to find it. But if you have a dungeon, you can go down and get quartz. You do need quartz for this mod, and that's like the biggest thing, because you need a lot of this quartz-enriched iron, which is pretty easy to make. Just iron and quartz. Pretty simple. So to get started, just like, you know, if you need a controller, we have a controller. So silicone, this enriched iron, and diamond. This is pretty easy too. Very simple. Oh, let's put these things down the side across the top. Very nice. So the silicone, you can use the Ender IO, which is a lot easier to make. Basically, we can take... do I have any sand over here? I do. You can take sand, put it in the sag mill. And that should grind it down into silicone. So that you kind of need for like these little printed silicone pieces. So this kind of works. The solderer, which is right here. It does need power, so we do have to connect it to the controller. But that is how you make all the little pieces. So everything that you'll see here between making these little processors. Also, some of these other fluid or storage things we need, you know, with that. There are a lot of little things that we need to make with this, with the solderer. That's why I went ahead and made all of these little printed processors. They're not put together yet. We still have to kind of put them together, but it works. So for right now, I'm just going to set this thing on here just to power it. Like I said, put everything in the middle of the room. It's fine. Drop this thing down and this will get power. So if we go grab some redstone, I don't know if I have any over here. I would assume I don't. I actually need to go start doing another mining trip. If you've been following along with the stuff in my series, you may notice I started back vanilla too. We just launched the season 4 of V for Vanilla. So if you're watching, if this mainly for the modded aspect, don't like vanilla, this series will be around. But if you want to see some vanilla stuff too, which is where I try to do a lot of building and stuff, just because I think it's more challenging. And go check that out. So we can do this just like, we got our processors, redstone, silicone, and then that puts it together and makes some of these basic processors and stuff. Now, can we put multiple? We can. I don't know if I want to put... Oh, yeah. So that's one change with this that's kind of cool. We'll need a bunch of these. Let me go get more redstone, apparently. Let me check in here first. No, no, and no. Oh, we have 18 there. We'll hold on to some of this. So that's pretty cool that this makes this. So the start of the mod, you definitely want to make some of this enriched iron. Make the controller pretty easy. Machine casing, this more, this enriched iron. And then this enriched iron and sticky piston. So you definitely want to find some slime blocks for that. Then next, what we are going to need is these grids. Now these grids, we have the crafting grid, the pattern grids. You can probably guess crafting monitor. And see, it's the machine casing. Let me go get some of that enriched iron. And we'll sleep while we're at it. I need to make a new sleeping bag. I don't know. I think I lost mine on our little nether adventure. Which was a lot of fun and pretty scary, actually. So let's take the quartz. And here's some rich quartz. And while we're over here, let's actually grab some more redstone, because we may need it. Now, I'm pretty sure I have some iron in my little bag, little sack of holding. Yeah, I have a crafting bench. So yeah, that's cooking those things right up. Very cool. So the next thing we need, like I said, is this grid. Now this grid, construction cores, glowstone. Was that always with glowstone? Oh. I guess it was. Where's the grid? And this, that's what, yeah. Okay, and those were gold. Very unprepared. Let's grab some more quartz and a little bit of glowstone. For some reason I thought it was with the diamonds, even though it is blue, I guess. Oh, there we go. So are these getting done? We got some done. So now we should be able to kind of make, what do we need for this? These guys. Oh, we will need to make some of those next. Let's, that one's almost done. We'll need a bunch of these things, so it's good that we go ahead and make them. 7, that should be fine. So we'll make 2 of those. While we're doing that, we want to probably get right into the crafting grid, which is this advanced processor. That's where we need the diamond, a regular grid, and just a regular crafting bench. So let's go ahead and make that. Let's go ahead and switch those out for right now. Just so we can get that. So these things do all attach together once you attach to the controller. So you really just have to run power to the controller, and then you can kind of line everything up. So the next thing we'll also want to make is we'll make the crafting grid. You can kind of see how that is. We need storage. Now there is little, you know, some of these, where is it? You can add like different storage to it, but I want to go ahead and make this guy. So really we need 2 of these. So let's go ahead and make another one while we're at it. And that we can make over here, and we'll need to make a chest. Oh, we already had a chest on us. Oh well. And a machine frame. Very nice. And now we got the second one of that. So let's go ahead. Let's make this guy. Nice that we can just click it in there. And what else? We're going to want to start making some of these storage drives. Storage drives are pretty easy. That's where we need the silicone. We need glass too. 41. Very nice. Do I have another stack? I don't have another stack, but I have 32. Okay. And we got our disk drives crafted up. And let's go ahead and do the grid, and then we'll start the crafting grid. I don't know why I forgot to make that. Oh, now we don't have enough quartz. Figures. But we got tons of iron. Okay. I just used all of our iron. Crafting grid. And we'll come over here. Let that craft up. And let's go get some glass. This is why I want to get the storage. I'm so kind of thrown off a little bit by where everything is. Do I even have any glass? I do. Okay. Whew. I didn't want to have to like take the time to make some. It's not a bad idea to go ahead and smelt some up. I should have actually. I should just use our alloy smelter, or yeah. Make some quite clear glass. That way we can punch it without it breaking. So let's, oh, dang it. Okay, well, we got glass in the meantime. So basically it tiers up the same way. It tiers up as 1K. I'll quit comparing it to applied energistics. So we got our 1K, and this is pretty accurate. So 1K, it will hold 1,000 items. You know, 4K, 4,000 items. Which this, you need to make a bunch of the 1Ks, a bunch of these processors. So let's go ahead and make, what are we missing? These guys. How many of those can we make? 7? And then what do we run out of? The glass. Yeah, let's make 7. We'll definitely want to make some more once we get some more glass. That smelted that up. Get some regular glass. Wait. Oh, alloys only. Okay. I was like, why is that not? No, that works. So that may take some time to smelt up. So let's go ahead and place our crafting grid and our storage. We'll just throw these all in here like that. And now we can put stuff in here. But we can't put stuff in here yet because we don't have disk drive. So we do want to make one of those drives, which there's a little bit more glass. I kind of want to make a 4K one first. Oh, we could actually make 3 of those. So we could make 3 4Ks or go right into... We just need 4 of those basic processors. We got the stuff to do that, actually. I mean, if we can go ahead and make a 16K, might as well. And I think we're just short on glass, so probably make a bunch more of these basic processors. And maybe even try to get up to the 64K storage. Because 4K... Yeah, it does benefit just going ahead and making the higher ones. So that's what I'll probably try to do off camera, is make some either 16 or 64K ones. Come on, process. But you can see this is pretty easy. I mean, other than you need a lot of the quartz, which is fairly easy to get. If you go to some of the roguelike dungeons, or yeah, roguelike dungeons. So that's fairly easy to get. Then they nice 16K. So now that we got that, we can go ahead and make one of these. This once we get. Does it actually want? Oh, we don't have any glass. I can say, does it actually want quite clear glass? It may. But I hope not. Yep. So now that we have that, we don't need to make... Yeah, that should be good. So now we can just drop this thing in here. And now you see 16K storage. Now we can just take and throw everything in here. Except our food. We like our food. Well, we can throw the food in there too. Hey, it actually has a little light on it now. That wasn't working when I was testing it before, I don't think. I didn't notice these changing colors or anything. So you can see in here, 16K storage. We have 358 items in there, which looks about right. So, and this is basically the refined storage. You can kind of get into more there's a crafter, so you can do some automated crafting. You can hook it up to some of these guys. So I'll probably make another alloy smelter and sag mill, put it behind the walls. That gets a little bit more complicated, and I will have to kind of think of the placement for it. But this is your basic setup of what you need to make: the controller, the grid. You can go straight into a crafting grid, and now we can use this. You know, we need a machine casing. Basically, use it very simple. Just have it pull everything out of there. I like it. It's will definitely be nice. And I gotta figure out where in this room I want to put this. I need pretty much all of these visible. Really, I don't need the controller visible. But everything will then, you know, kind of attach. So I may just put it in a long line, like along one of these walls. I think I have this. Yeah, that's already cleared out behind it. So maybe there. I just have to move this guy. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and see what it would take. What's the 64Ks take? 3 of those, and so we would need to go ahead and get tons of these guys in here. So get tons of these guys going. We will need to get, I don't know, but I'm going to take a break. I'm going to move. I know this is only, what, 16K? But I'm going to move everything out of all of this. Does this work now? No, it doesn't. I want to move everything actually out of these chests. I guess I could just, you know, I may make me a axe as well, off camera, just so I can go ahead and break these things pretty easy. Oh, it's cold. It's cold. Akari actually mentioned a pretty good idea about hooking this thing up to a season timer. So I don't know if that works as far as when it starts getting cold in the area. But if it's not really getting cold outside, I'll have to do some testing with that and see how it goes. But let me get this moved around, get this set up a little bit more. See if maybe we can actually put it in the wall somewhere, and then I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back, and you notice the chests are gone because it's all on the wall. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this. We got everything going. You may notice 2 drives, if not, and this thing. So one of the things I did was, where's my hatchet? We can come through here. One of the things that I have done is I added this guy. Now I did import everything into it. Basically, these things, I don't know. There's things I like about AE, but this is awesome because this is actually shows the items that it can hold. So the thing that kind of was bad about AE is it would have where, you know, this thing may hold only like 63 items, but it could hold a bunch of them if it was a 16K storage or 64K storage. So then you kind of had, you know, the issues with if you put a bunch of like armor or stuff in there, like a single item, it would take up the drive without filling up the total storage. So it kind of sucked. But this seems to be, you know, this is how many items it can hold, and it seems to be true to that. So you can kind of throw in a lot of single items. Is this closed? Because I don't want any surprises. Nope. It is nighttime too. So that is kind of the nice thing about that. But I filled up my 16K drive with moving everything from my little house over there, from the chests over there, to the iron and things I had by my smeltery. So I had to make a new one, and I made a 64K. So this made everything pretty easy. What I was doing with this is so I could fit everything over there. You can actually take like an exporter, which is probably, since I only know that I have one of them. And look, I got a cow pet. You can actually take an exporter and put that on here. Let's break that. Put the exporter on there. And then you can say, let's just export, like, you know, netherrack. And let's actually, before we do that, let's take this out. That way it doesn't use all of them. So not that I need it at the moment, but you see it's starting to put netherrack in here. It does move slow. So I don't know if there is speed upgrades. I would imagine maybe slots over here for speed upgrades. Upgrade, range upgrades, speed upgrades. So yeah, upgrades sugar and redstone. So yeah, so we could probably try doing that, make some upgrades for this. But I don't know. I mean, now that I made that 64K, I mean, this is, I used temporary just to put, I made a 4 box one. So I could put stone, netherrack, stone, sand, and then I had, I think what was, yeah, a bunch of jungle wood. And I put it all in there. And then you can do upgrades for it like we had here that upgrades to 3 times. So each one of these little quadrants hold like 512. So 512, 512, 512, and 512. Putting that in there made that times 3. So it basically held over 1,500 per little quadrant, which wasn't bad. So yeah, I should probably stop that because I don't need it to do that at the moment. I kept it in place, and I'll probably just keep it there, basically because after I did that, that's when I made that 64K drive. So there's a few other things that I have done since the last little clip. I went ahead and make octadic capacitors. Not too hard to do, but you do need ender pearls, some glowstone. But I made those just because that thing speeds these up. And it's nice because then I can take cobble in here and it will just burn through it. It'll make gravel. Adding the flint also helps it to get these secondary components. So it is making a bunch of gravel, making a bunch of sand. Because one of the things you need a lot for this, especially when making things in here, is silicone. So I think I may have showed this off, but the best way, and you see this seems like it's going kind of slow, and we can put that back in there. Seems like it's going kind of slow, but it's going a lot faster with this. If we take this out, you can see that slowed down quite a lot. And now we just probably wasted the 400 extra thousand. Is this full? Is this full? Yeah, it's full. So that's what I've been doing. Letting the build up the flint. This gets a little bit of sand. Not too bad, but then we can put this back in here. It makes more sand. So you can see now we're getting a lot more flint with this breaking down, and more sand this way. So, and then I can take the sand once I'm done and put that back in here to make silicone. And you can see I get tons of flint. It basically, just by putting in a stack of cobble, I can basically kind of fill this back up with flint, so I can always have flint there. I wouldn't mind, like I said, this is kind of like my face machines where I can put stuff in. When I start getting into automation, I may see if I can kind of have something like this set up, where it's just basically running through cobble. And I would like to try maybe putting regular stone. Right now, it's not an issue. Yeah, see, now we got that filled up with 64. So pretty good way of making stuff. And then we can throw this in there. And you see it blows the sand really fast to make the silicone. So, and this just helps the chances. It doesn't make a 1 silicone per. It does have a random chance, but it does make quite a lot, which is good. So that's how I had enough silicone to make that 64K. That also took 4 diamonds. I've been doing a lot of my diamond mining in the nether, actually. It's very, very good. And I found, we're burning up. I don't know what it is, but this water cools me down. Like having this puddle here, look how fast I'm cooling down. I don't do that when I like get in the water outside my base. Yeah, see? I'm good. But yeah, I can throw this stuff in there. And got quite a lot. So we can go ahead and let's make up some more of those guys. So pretty good. You can click on this controller, see how much power you actually need. So right now we're using 10 RF. Basically redstone per tick. So a redstone flux. So it basically we have 3 solar panels up there, each making 8, so we have 24 per tick. So that during the daytime, that is basically making what this takes and then some. So pretty easy. Anytime you add an extra storage, it does bring this up one, because you can see here. Yeah, this is generating one. Actually, no, the storage. Okay, yeah. See how it says it's generating, it's taking up 2 now. If we pulled out one of those storages, it would probably drop that back to 1. So it actually doesn't use that much power. But then when we start getting into the crafting, the crafter, there's a lot of things you can do with these crafters. And unfortunately, they're not the easiest to make. You need basically, it is a diamond per, right? These? Yeah, 2 diamonds per, actually. So these crafters, and then you have to put a crafter on, there's different things you can use them for, but we can get into that definitely in another episode. But yeah, so this is it. It's in the wall. I showed you back here. Pretty easy. The power is actually coming straight from this storage down here. Oh, so the power is coming straight from the storage, and that way it's, you know, not connected to, you know, the well, connect under here. I may clean up the wiring a little bit, but it just goes straight from there up and into the controller, and everything else. That's really the only part that needs power. Then everything else kind of powers off of it by the cabling. You know, this gets powered from being connected. So it is a very, very cool mod. And I said, with basic, you know, I guess silicone's not basic, but I mean, with sand, basic materials, it's fairly easy to get into, you know, beginning game, not in game. It's very easy to get into when you start, you know. So definitely recommend checking this out for your storage system. Very, very cool. Eliminates all the chests. You may notice I have this over here. I made a netherrack hammer because I've been mining in the nether. Not sure if I'm going to keep it. We do have another modifier on there. Could probably add more. I just put like tons of speed on it to try to get a little bit faster. I guess I could. I didn't want to waste the mending moss. So mending moss kind of, I don't know. It doesn't seem like, but then again, I don't really, you know, the mending moss on my pickaxe, I'm actually breaking stuff that's giving me XP. I don't really break stuff with this. Once it gets low, if it works kind of like it's mending, maybe I can use it to kill things over at my my little mob farm area. But that's definitely going to do it for this episode. I want to test around with a few things in the nether and try to go out looking for more nether temples or nether fortresses. So we may do that next episode. I gotta figure out some stuff with that. But anyway, that's gonna do it. This has been Kinema. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.